Well, greetings and salutations, everybody, and to my former and current college students that have gone or are going through the grind of getting through college, going to classes, cramming for exams, and going through the absolute stress and anxiety that comes with the territory, so to speak, and doing whatever it takes in order to make it through and to get that degree and to have a good paying job and living life on a much easier difficulty than you would otherwise, right? Well, it is very universally known, and parties and extracurricular activities is a normal thing, especially when you don't have classes. You're going to go to a party, you're going to have a few drinks, you're going to play a few games and stuff like that. There may be some sexual activities going on, of course, right? It all comes with the territory of going to college. It's one of the most beautiful stories. And for those of you guys that haven't gone to college, a lot like myself, I highly recommend you go and check out Dr. Bolo, who is a world-renowned gynecologist with a varying of expertise in the subject, and Difo himself. And I'm going to leave those links in the description down below. Difo was basically like the Stifler of college, the girls basically borderline RAPED him. Back in his day at college, the ladies just wanted him, man. So if you guys want to know what the college experience is like, go check them out, and you will definitely get further education, or should I say continued education on the subject. But in this case, in this story that we are going to cover today, it is going to be a very unusual case of, let's just say, exam stress and the form of relief, or should I say therapy for that relief, that took place. And the story goes as follows. Now, this took place in California. So it goes like this. The title of the story is that an university student admits to having sex with a sheep because he was, quote unquote, stressed about exams. Now, and the story continues to read, a 23-year-old Fresno State University student has admitted to engaging in a sex act with a sheep after being caught in his California campus barn. Wow. So let's pause it there for a second. Now, all of these universities that happen to have a campus barn, right? You guys need to step up your security, okay? You can't just leave the doors wide open or not have the gates open or not have the gates anything above 6 feet tall. No, you got to get the gates way the hell up there. You got to have some sort of alarm system going on. You got to be borderline Ethan motherfucking Hunt to be able to pass this kind of security at this point, okay? Because this is simply unacceptable. If you guys can take thousands upon thousands upon thousands and tens and thousands of dollars for tuition from the parents of most of these students, then I'm pretty sure you can afford a security system that would be a lot harder to penetrate than this. And speaking of penetration, we're going to continue on here with the article. And the article says, the young man who is studying computer engineering told authorities that he had sex with the animal because he was stressed about exams. We've already said that. And according to ABC7, the student was caught in the act with another college goer, heard noise coming from the agricultural departments of the barn in early hours of Tuesday morning. Now, first of all, I have to say that, first of all, I hope the animal is okay. I hope the sheep is okay because, quite frankly, let's be real here. Sheep are sentient beings. They are basically a lot like humans. They just have different forms of communication and stuff like that. They communicate in different noises that we do, right? So it's pretty safe to say, unless there was some sort of sheep communication between this young man here and the sheep, then I'm pretty sure that the sheep was not having it, man. The sheep was probably not in the mood. And just imagine, okay, you're at the zoo, right? And you're walking past the gorilla cage or whatnot. You just take a look and you walk past, and this big motherfucking gorilla somehow escapes the cage and then chases your ass down and then begins to have his way with you. You ain't going anywhere. You're not doing anything, and there's nothing you can do. So first of all, I have to say, every time you go to a zoo, make sure you at least carry one banana with you, and maybe you can try to bribe this motherfucker from actually having his way with you. And I'm pretty sure all of this, because you're a sentient being too, right? I'm pretty sure there would be some sort of psychological damage done after this gorilla, granted you survive, right? If the gorilla gets too aggressive, man, you may not even survive, or you'll break a few bones here and there, because as we all know, they're a hell of a lot stronger than humans are, right? So you got to do the next best thing, man. You got to try to bribe this motherfucker with a banana, because God knows they're probably not giving these guys enough bananas. But anyway, let's continue on here. The man who has not been named, thank God for his case, is facing charges of sexual assault of an animal. Now, I did some official research here, additional research as a matter of fact, on what the penalty would be. Now, it seems to appear that it varies state by state. So, for instance, in Arizona, engaging in oral sexual contact intercourse with an animal, or causing another person to engage in such a conduct is actually a class 6 felony. As you can see to the right here, there's they have to go through a psychological assessment and reimburse an animal shelter and all that kind of stuff. But since this took place in California, our boy here is actually kind of lucky, because it's just a misdemeanor. So he is very lucky. I mean, I didn't look at all the states, but I'm pretty sure that some states will have it even worse than this. Now, we are going to go back to the article here and read the rest of it. And it goes, upon arrest, he informed Fresno State Police that he consumed a vast amount of alcohol and was feeling stressed about upcoming exams. Now, if I was a reporter, and if I had a limit of, like, let's say 5 questions to ask this person for additional purposes, right? Research purposes, as well as to get the word out there, so that way we become more educated on this very unusual subject, so that way we may have a deeper understanding exactly how this psychological thing works with people like this. I would ask the following questions. Now, the first one is very obvious, right? Why not sex with a human? I mean, how many people do you know in college that are stressed out about exams? And of course, they consume alcohol. They also become, very horny. They get in the mood. And what do? They seek out other humans, right? So in my mind, I am thinking that maybe there was some sort of underlying psychological anomaly, so to speak, with this human, to where he may or may not have enjoyed some sort of bestiality. And if I were the authorities, I would actually do some research on this guy's computer, and they might find something very interesting in his internet browser history. But anyway, going on to question number 2 that I would ask. How in the world did you get hard? I mean, seriously, like, if he didn't like, let's just say for theory's sake, right, that he did not like animals, or at least he didn't know that he liked animals, right? How in the world would you get hard? I mean, is it something about the fluffiness of the sheep? I mean, I can understand liking fluffy humans, but humans are not, we don't have the same kind of matter that a sheep does, unless the sheep was shaved 100%, which is very, very unlikely in this case, right? I haven't seen a shaved sheep. Have you? So how in the world did you get hard? Did he take Viagra or something? It would take a lot of mental willpower in order to make something like this happen, or was it because of the alcohol? But anyway, question number 3 that I would ask is, how much alcohol did you consume? Because there are varying stages to alcohol consumption, right? First you get the buzz, and then you get a deeper buzz, and then you get to the point to where you're like at stage 3, where you're basically fucked up. So I'm assuming this guy was severely fucked up. As a matter of fact, maybe he got so fucked up that he ended up getting fucking horny and ended up fucking the sheep. And the word fucking is basically the word that we have in parentheses here that's highlighted in this. Maybe all of this is somehow linked. We got to do additional research on this fascinating subject. But anyway, let's go to the 4th question. Now, this one might sound a little immature, but we got to think about this. And the question is, did you use protection? Now, first of all, if he was fucked up, chances are that he didn't, because you don't think about that shit. You just think about whatever the hell it is that you're thinking about. God knows what was going through this guy's head. But seriously though, like if you can catch some sort of infection from other humans, what in the world do you think is going to happen when you are doing this with a sheep? And I'm pretty sure these sheep are not cleaned like we are on a daily basis, right? Do they give these sheep showers? Do they have somebody on campus that is personally responsible for grooming the sheep and washing the sheep on a regular basis? I mean, I don't think so. And if there is such a thing, I wonder how much it pays, first of all. And second of all, I'm actually wondering how, like, what is the in-depth of cleanliness that goes on? And I'm pretty sure they're not doing it on a daily basis. It might be a weekly basis or it might be a monthly basis. This is something that the authorities need to ask the college principal as well, or the dean, or whatever the hell it is. So the last question that I would ask is, did you perform oral on the sheep? You know, because if you're going to do this, bro, you got to basically, I mean, you can't just be selfish, man. You got to go all the way. There's no half-assing it, man. Because that sheep is just, you're just going to be known to be a selfish lover, man. You got to, this guy's a college student, so I'm assuming he knows a thing or two about it. But I couldn't help but add that one in. So, anyway, guys, this was a very interesting subject that requires further research in psychology, and the authorities really need to go in depth on this one, if you ask me. Now, the question I have to you guys is, first of all, what are your thoughts on this entire subject? Did you guys find this interesting and fascinating? And if you had 5 questions, or just 3 questions, what questions would you ask this young man that apparently was just so overwhelmed by the stress and anxieties of the exam coming up that he had to go this far and go beyond humans and just find a sheep? Because it's not like this sheep was in the dorm right next to his that he had easy access to. No, this guy had to get out of his room, okay, out of his dorm, and he had to walk a certain distance in order to get to that barn, okay? It's not like it was like right there, like, hoo, here I am. No. He had to walk some distance. So there was clearly intent. He was fucked up, I'm sure, but not so fucked up that he couldn't even walk to where he ended up being. So I think it's very important to hold this young man accountable and responsible, and let's just say he is lucky that he had a misdemeanor. And bro, we need to get you a psychological evaluation so that way you can basically go back to loving humans again, man. I know you can do it, and I believe in you, and I'm sure everybody else who knows of this believes in you as well. You got to have faith, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, that is the story for today. Let all the thoughts be known down in the comments section below. And anyway, if you want any further details in terms of education and the college experience, look down in the 2 links down below for Dr. Bolo and Difo. I am sure they will be more than willing to give you guys all the information you need and some interesting stories as well. Hopefully not as fucked up as this one. That's all we got for this one, guys. We will catch you on the next article. Have a good day.